There are many environmental problems, but we need not to feel powerless by looking at the environmental problems. There are many things we can do to make a difference. And we have the 5 R's to save the environment. I'm sure you have come across the 5 R's. What are they? Refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, and recycle. So, here we'll learn all these 5 R's in detail to save the environment. So, let us start. The first is refuse. What is the meaning of refuse? This means to say no. We say no to the things people offer to us, but we don't need. So, we have to say no, we don't need. In the same way, we need to refuse to buy products which harm us and which harm the environment also. For example, we have to say no to plastic bags because plastic bags are harmful for the environment. So, this type of things we have to refuse. We have to say no. So, this is the first R, that is refuse. The next we have is reduce. What is the meaning of reduce? Reduce means to use less. The things which we use, that we have to use in limited quantity. As for that, we can save electricity by switching off unnecessary lights and fans. Some of the people have that kind of habit that they keep on turning the lights and fans which are not needed. Some people use lights during the daytime also when it is not needed. But we have to save electricity by switching off the unnecessary lights and fans. In this way, we can help by reducing the things which we don't need. On the other hand, we can save water by repairing leaky taps. If the taps are leaky, we can repair it and we can save water. Also, we do not have to waste food. Instead, we can take how much we need and finish it all. So, don't waste food. In this way, we can help by reducing the usage. So, students, this is the second R, which is reduce. The first we learned that was refuse, and this is second, reduce. Now, let us learn the next R. The third R is reuse. From the word itself, we can think what it is, reuse, which means to use the things again. Okay. So for this reuse R, you will remember that you simply use the things again and again. For example, instead of throwing away used envelopes, we can reverse it and can be used again. Then the plastic bottles in which we buy various food items like jam or pickle. So this type of plastic bottles can be used again for storing the things in the kitchen. So this is about the third R, that is reuse. Now let us learn the fourth R, which is repurpose. What is the meaning of repurpose? This means when a product can no more be used for the original purpose, we can think and use it for some other useful purpose. Which means when we buy some products, so once the original use is over, we can think it creatively and we can find to use it for other purpose. For example, if we have cups with broken handle, so that can be used for gardening purpose to grow small plants. Also, if we have cracked crockery, then it can be used as feeding vessels for birds. So this way we can think carefully and we can use the products better for some other useful purposes. So this is all about the fourth R, that is repurpose. Now let us see the fifth R, that is recycle. What is about this R, recycle? This means that you collect plastic things, paper, glass and metal items and recycle these materials to make required things instead of buying new metal items, or instead of buying new papers, or instead of buying new plastics. So recycle means to collect this type of things, plastic, paper, glass, metal items, and then to recycle it. Once it is used, we can recycle it instead of buying new things. But in order to recycle things, we first need to collect the waste. Okay, whether it is glass, paper, plastic, metal, we need to collect all the waste so that the material can be recycled, is not dumped along with the other waste. So first of all, we need to take care about the waste. Now, students, do not get confused between reuse and recycle. Okay, what is reuse? Here, we use the things again and again, but for some other purposes. And what is recycle? In recycle, we have to recycle this all materials like plastic, paper, glass, metal items. This all should be segregated and then to be recycled. Okay, whereas in reuse we directly use it for some other purposes. In reuse we do not need any extra energy, so it saves energy because the process of recycling needs some energy, whereas in reuse there is no energy wasted because directly we use the material for other better purposes. So reuse saves energy, whereas recycling needs some energy. So which is the better, reuse or recycle? Reuse is even better than recycling. So this difference please keep in mind. So by now we have learned all 5 R's. It is very important, so please remember it well. Let us revise it once again. First R is refuse, which means to say no to the things which is not needed. For example, say no to plastic carry bags. Then we learned reduce, which means to use less. We can save electricity by switching off unnecessary lights and fans. Reuse means to use things again and again. Repurpose means the products, once it is used for original purpose, then we can think carefully and use it for some other useful purpose. So from the word itself you can remember repurpose. There is another purpose for using it. So this is repurpose. And we collect plastic, paper, glass, metal items and to recycle them, and we can use it. So this is all about 5 R's to save the environment. Even while making everyday choices, we can make environment friendly decisions. And for doing this, we need to know more and more about how our choices affect the environment. These effects may be immediate or long term or long ranging. The concept of sustainable development encourages forms of growth that meet current basic human needs, while preserving the resources for the needs of future generations. Thus, we all know that if we will save the environment, that will be better investment for our future generations, right? So, to save the environment is our responsibility. By saving it now, we can conserve it for our future generations. Also, economic development is linked to the environmental conservation. And that is why sustainable development brings a change in all aspects of life. It depends upon the willingness of the people to change their perceptions of the socio-economic and environmental conditions around them, which means it is everyone's willingness to save the environment and to bring change into their perceptions as well as to bring change in their mindsets. Also, it depends on the readiness of each individual to be aware for the use of natural resources. So this is all about the 5 R's to save the environment and how the choices of human beings affect the environment.